heart is an amazing organ. A muscle, really. It is so critical to our body's ability to function at its optimum. When the heart becomes clogged or develops irregular patterns of beating, we do not receive that much needed blood that is carried, the oxygen that is carried into through our blood and parts of our body. When we speak with people who have had bypass surgery or have had pacemakers put in, we see how much healthier and more physically active they become just almost instantly. So it's pretty evident that having blockages, impurities, or erratic beatings in one's heart, it's not a good thing. We can agree on this, right? Well, the heart is purely a muscle. And yet poets and romance writers consistently refer to the heart as something that produces emotions. Yet we know it's the brain that processes thought and emotion. It's not the heart. It is the brain that allows for reasoning. It's the brain that is the home of our consciousness. It is the brain that feelings originate from. So, in this beatitude, why does Jesus not say, "Blessed are the brain, for they shall see God"? Oddly enough, we attribute all of our feelings as centered into the heart, not the brain. Phrases such as, "Oh, have a heart," or "he is heartless," or "I'm half-heartedly doing this work. She will steal your heart from you." All of these indicate emotion. Even in the story of the Wizard of Oz, when the Tin Man was asking to have a heart, the wizard gives him this mechanical clock. It's shaped in the heart, and was telling the Tin Man, he says, "The heart will never be practical until it is made not to be broken." Well, a short time later, as Dorothy's getting ready to leave to go back home to Kansas, you see the Tin Man crying as he says, "I must truly have a heart because I feel it breaking." What is it about our heart, this non-thinking, non-feeling muscle, whose only purpose in life is to pump our blood, that we insist in giving credit for producing all of these emotions? Every one of us has had occasion to feel emotions that we say come from the heart. We never say things like, "I have a broken brain," "my brain is sad," "I have such joy in my brain." Yeah. Rather, we attribute emotions like love, hate, fear, revenge, care, and compassion as coming from our heart. So what does purity mean in this beatitude? Does it mean physically, such as getting rid of all of the bad cholesterol that will help make our heart pure? Does something have to occur? Thank you. Even when I practice that word, it's a Kansas thing. We cannot pronounce our R's correctly. Does something have to occur in the brain to have a pure heart? Is it an emotional thing that Jesus is talking about? I must feel a certain way to possess purity of heart. The word pure is often translated into meaning clean, as in Psalm 51. "Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me, and cast me not away from your presence." And Jesus says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God." Is being in the presence of God the same as being able to see God? What does it mean to see God? Is this not the center of our faith's journey, to see God? For if we see God, are we not then in the presence of God? The Reverend James Howell, in his book, The Beatitudes for Today, suggests that it may be helpful to think of purity in two ways. There's a purity that looks like single-mindedness, a place where our mind and our actions are walking hand in hand, so to speak. And then there is purity that looks like goodness, cleanness, holiness, and the two are not unrelated, he says. The human predicament is that we let ourselves get frittered away in multiple directions, trying to be and do everything, when we were made for just one thing, for the one thing that finally matters: God. If purity of heart is to will one thing, then focus is everything. To pure, like a racehorse, needs blinders to block out the peripheral vision so that they keep their eyes on the one goal, the presence of God within the heart. Think about the story of Martha and Mary when Jesus came to visit. Martha was busy doing the hostess thing, cooking and trying to get things set up so that Jesus would have a very pleasant visit with everyone. While Mary was not so bothered about all those things, and that she took the time to sit at Jesus' feet, listening to what he had to say. Activities such as private prayer time or the discipline of meditation are but several forms of taking that needed time to clear one's mind, putting on those blinders, so to speak, so that we can be like Mary and sit and focus on the truly important thing needed to make us whole. When we can discard all of the distractions that keep us from focusing on God, then we can achieve a pure heart. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. How do we see God? In what form or forms does God look like? Part of our Christian family says that we'll not be able to see God until we die and enter into heaven. While another part of our Christian family says that we can see God right here, right now. In the parable found in Matthew 25, where Bev read, Jesus talks about finding God where we are living. Come, you who are blessed by God, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me, and I was sick, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me. Then the pure in heart will answer him. Get that? Then the pure in heart will answer him. Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you sick or in prison and go and visit you? Then Jesus will reply, truly I tell you, whenever you did for one of the least of my brothers or sisters of mine, you did for me. does it mean to see God? Jesus tells us we see God when we show compassion and mercy and respect for our fellow brothers and sisters. The theme this past week at the 31st Synod of the United Church of Christ, which was held in Baltimore, was based on Psalm 46, verse 4. There is a river whose streams make glad the city of God. This means to me that you and I, as streams, feed into the river that give that life-giving force needed for any city to exist and function, that flows into the city of God. It is in our actions of feeding the poor, caring for the hurt, standing up for those who are beaten down, looking after the children across the street. Our sharing and our caring is what this river is filled with, that flows and makes happy the city of God. Blessed are the poor in heart, for they shall see God. Many years ago, the TV star Dale Evans wrote a book. It was titled Angels Unaware. And it was a story about their child who had been born with Down syndrome. And I don't wish to embarrass Delana or Tommy or the families of either of them. But I want to tell you that God has given us two people that we as a congregation can learn from in understanding, pure of heart.
Amen.
Each time we gather and worship, their spirits feed me with light that comes from heaven. When Tommy comes up and he moves with the beat of the music and the praise team, or some of these simple answers that he gives out, and when I hear Delana singing back there, I know that I am standing in the presence of God.
Amen.
Amen.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Amen.